Alright guys, welcome back to VALORANT News. Massive results yesterday in the Super Week that's going down in the Americas. Sentinels get a massive victory for them, locking up effectively their spot in the playoffs. But for NRG, it's a very different story. FNS and SOM came into this team a few weeks ago. Has this experiment in some sense already failed? They needed to get some big results this week, but FNS was struggling getting kills, aiming in that department, and all sorts of reaction as a result. Has this team failed to deliver the results they need? And is Demon1 potentially coming back into the lineup to save their skins? Very much interested your thoughts in the comments below. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always. I would greatly appreciate it. We are going to dive straight into the Pacific era. A couple of results yesterday. We saw this one, the 2-0 PaperX versus Destination Gaming. This was another one though, DRX versus Talon, a 2-1 win. So DRX on the board, but not exactly a convincing 2-1 series victory here for DRX. They went down 9-0 on their defensive side of Ascent, brought a fake comeback and eventually lost it 13-11 on their pick. Then they won Talon's pick though on the Haven 13-10, and then the Icebox was incredibly comfortable 13-5 after they 12-0'd the first half on the attack. So pretty wild series to be honest, but DRX, they do get over the line, they do find their stride when it matters at the end of the series, and maybe this team is finally coming to play. But we've heard the comments of Mako, obviously the changes they've made, the Zest, the RB moves, everything that's changed. Stacks of course gone, the changes they made over the last few months, and whether this team is good enough to compete with the real top dogs in their region in the world, I am not so convinced. This is how it stands though, right? So DRX at 7-2, PaperX at 7-1. These will be your 6 teams in the playoffs in that region. In the Americas though, bit of drama because Crew Esports started off really well in stage 1, but that's not been maintained at all. And they've actually confirmed yesterday the decision that MTA is going to return to the starting team and it's going to be Klaus off the roster. So they started well. Clearly though, they haven't been able to quite maintain what they were looking for here, and they've decided to actually blow it up and make a move. This is what their head coach says, to take the translation on this, that we basically had a slow decline and it's come to an end now, at least when they have to do something about it. We have lost strength, we have lost rhythm, and basically don't give up hope to the fans, saying that yes, we're going to make some moves. And as he says, we made this change drastically at an unfavorable time, but that does not mean that there is one culprit and now that everything will be fine. We are all part of the problem, we are all part of the solution. It is in our hands to get back on track, correct? Genuinely believe that this is a high-ranking group, a Champions League group, and a group that has the talent, the strength and the ability to recover what was lost. So yeah, they're saying we've made a change, we kind of had to, they were regressing too significantly, they had too many problems, and they needed some sort of change to try and reinvigorate the spark they had in the early part of the season. But before we get to the NRG series, we've got to discuss what happened in the Sentinels game. It was interesting that Baby Bay on comms kept calling Sassy Sachi, and he actually did confirm that like he was trying to say Sassy, but like it just weren't covered out right. So yeah, I don't know, it was causing a lot of talking points during the series, but Sachi was on fire to be fair. Like this guy was absolutely cooking, and Sentinels just fried Cloud9. I think what I'm impressed by with Sentinels, and what to be honest I expected from them given the nature of their players, what they've talked about in the early parts of the season, their coaching staff like Kaplan, all those guys getting involved over there, I think there was no way that they were going to continue their form of regression. They clearly went back to the drawing board. They've clearly worked very hard over the last few weeks, and absolutely they are now looking very deadly again as they did at the start of the season. Zels is standing up talking some trash, and as he says there, 2 versus Cloud9, my wrist is worth more than their roster. Of course, this is that Pepsi Rolex GMT Master 2 that Tens bought him a little while ago. I think he got like his initials maybe engraved on it after they won Masters Madrid, which was really cool. And like it's obviously an expensive watch, but it's not like the most expensive Rolex you can buy, and that's what Smooya says. Actually, that watch is rather cheap for like a luxury watch in some level at least, and as Zelta says, exactly, because basically their team is terrible. And as Ten says, GG's Cloud9 1-2-0. I think we are very close or have secured playoffs, not too sure. Have a nice break until our next match. We'll see the data on that in a second. Basically, this is now a done deal. Sentinels will be there at the playoffs, which puts them in a very nice position, of course, to qualify for the World Championship. And of course, what's nice as well, another standing point on the board, just in case things don't go so well in the playoffs. But yeah, Cloud9, again, it is the classic Oxy go kill strat, and if it doesn't work, they lose. That is basically the nature of this team, that Oxy needs to get the kills, and if he doesn't get the first blood he needs, and if Zekken absolutely emphatically shuts him down as he did, then they lose. And that's what happened here. 13-5, 13-8, not even especially close. Cloud9 with a solid start to game 2, but Sentinels brought it back on the split, and they're classic dominant defensive side to close out the game. And even on the Haven, on Cloud9's pick, not even especially competitive here. Vanity had 6 frags, Zekken had 19 on the Jet. Now, the interesting thing was actually Zekken was noticed about this during the game itself, and he was commenting on this in the post-game interview. How about Neon, right? Why are we not seeing Neon from Sentinels? Because other teams have, of course, employed it in the meta. Some teams don't like it, some teams do. Neon is, I would say, a meta agent. And actually what Zekken says is that, yeah, Neon can be played with and will be against effectively better teams, or, you know, when there's going to be a more competitive matchup, maybe that's when Sentinels will bring out the Neon. But for now, Zekken's playing so well on these 2 agents that, you know, that's going to be enough for them to get through most series. But there is a feeling that Sentinels do have a bit of an ace up their sleeve and potentially can bring out the Zekken Neon at some point, and we'll see when that occurs, who they do it against, and exactly how important that turns out to be. But let's talk about this NRG series, right? Because these guys, they made the roster change. It wasn't going well at the start of the season, of course. They got rid of Marv, they got rid of Demon1, and they decided to bring FNS and Som back into the team. Now, FNS was not necessarily planning to play this year. Obviously, I guess his plan was, all right, come back maybe next year, do a lot of training, you know, mechanical training maybe in the off-season. Didn't really get the time to do that. Stepped back into NRG, and the initial feeling was, okay, it might well work. At least it might work in the short term from the element of getting better results domestically. Whether it was ever going to work on an international level, as in, was this team of FNS and some of the rest of the guys going to be good enough to actually lift an international trophy? I never really thought so, and, well, they might not even get the chance to try, because this result yesterday was just embarrassing and not a good performance from, well, most of the players on the team, but especially from FNS, right? You know, we always talk about the fragging in-game leaders. Can you get a kill? FNS's aiming style, you know, is never, for me, really fully aligned with VALORANT, because he likes to spray a bit FNS sometimes, and, you know, hitting the one-taps, hitting the headshots, getting the burst fires off, never really been FNS's massive strong suit. And, you know, you look at the other top IGLs, they do frag more than FNS. This is what Tarek has to say.
That eagle round, fuck them!
Door closes.
Bro, it's 12-8. We're not even going to get a map 3 out of this juicer game. God damn it. He's back. We're good.
Rez has to be offloaded. Have they just ignored Trent? Bringing him all the way back up. They have. They are just unaware. They've ignored him.
But didn't they know he TP'd?
But they didn't realize that he'd walked out of the teleporter. I'm out. And so Victor dealt with no longer the extra element out towards Showers. Fallon. He heard it with a footsteps, man. Over the strike. Why not? Throw it into the mix.
My god, this is a fucking stomp.
It's a death blow that was necessary for G2 to grab this round and grab this map. Grab the entire series.
No joke, if I'm Crashies, I save. Fuck it. I literally saved last round. I don't care. I literally run T-spawn and don't even try. Out of pure fuck this shit. Out of pure rage. I go T-spawn, I don't even fucking care.
That G2 were dreaming of.
And just another 30 seconds of pain, potentially. Valen mercifully ends things out early. A rough one for the NRG fans. Felt like there were moments of clarity, great calling.
We got a new dog in the house, huh?
It's gonna be
man, there's a disconnect on the team. I don't know what's going on here. Okay, part of me does feel bad for NRG because it sucks to get to play like this. I will say that I want to say their defense in both matches has been the problem, though. They got 4 rounds first map. They got 3 rounds the second map. Versus Sentinels, they got 4 rounds the first map and 3 rounds the second map. They have not gotten more than 4 rounds in 4 maps on defense. So they're literally being carried by their attacks if the game is close. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I know I'm giving them a cop-out right now, but I think they're playing bad regardless. I think, I don't know. I'm not sure. They tried cooking a comp on Haven. It didn't work. I don't think we got to see the full potential of this comp, though. Another cop-out for them, but they did play like the best 2 teams in the league, or arguably the best 2 teams in the league. So the matches are just unlucky, bro. They're playing Crew and Cloud9 next, and according to the official rankings, that's team number 3. Wait, C9's number 7? Finesse is getting reamed. He did have a tough series. He had a tough series. I think it's hard. It's hard because he's also trying to put all the pieces of the team together, and he's also got to put up his own game. I do agree that the IGL, I do agree that in today's day, with the teams that are at the top, the IGLs are putting up numbers. John Cutie, Sadhack, Valen, even Boaster, Boo, Boostio. Yeah, I think these days you gotta put up some numbers, but it was just a tough day. It's all good though.
So a 0-2 slammage here by G2, and yeah, as we scroll down, it's pretty ugly, right? FNS with 13 frags over 2 maps. Ethan tried, and yeah, G2 just handled business really. Haven was 13-7 on NRG's pick. FNS had 4 kills on the deadlock, so very strange composition actually they pulled out here, and maybe there was a chance for it to succeed had they got a bit more production out of some of their players, right? I mean, the Yoru, Omen, Phage, Clove, deadlock was not a composition I was expecting to see, but Chet obviously cooked something up and yeah, it didn't really work, and then on G2's pick they get the job done on Bind. Both maps here never felt especially close or competitive, so what's going on with NRG? Because their chances of making the playoffs and therefore the World Championship are looking rather slim indeed. Even as Ethan says, don't know what is wrong right now, pretty disappointed he says, got to prep for Crew Esports on the Wednesday, and of course that's an absolute must win at this point. And as FNS says, yeah, no excuses, just played bad, well played to G2. So yeah, people in the replies are saying, well, it's all good, back to watch partying we go and do something else. And this is when this Demon1 tweet comes through, right? Like, look, NRG made this change, Chet decided to make this change, FNS comes back in, and maybe it's still going to work if they win the final couple of series, but look, if Ethan's coming out publicly saying, yeah, I don't know what's going wrong, guys, we're just getting slammed, it doesn't really paint a picture of a team that actually knows that they're going to be able to succeed over the coming weeks and turn this whole ship around. And Demon1 says, announcement soon. Now, this could be anything. Is he going to join Disguise, DSG? Is he going back to Evil Geniuses, right? Now, look, I don't think this is him coming back into the NRG starting roster, although that arguably could be a decision that they should make given the circumstances right now. It might be something else, maybe some sort of partnership. I guess there's been some speculation on it. But this is how things now look in the Americas, right? So Lev are still top at 6-1. Sentinels, though, have climbed their way up to 6-3. That will certainly be enough for them. Even if they don't win the final series they're playing against G2, that's going to be enough to secure the playoffs for Sentinels. So did what they needed to do. Crew at 5-2. G2 are now at 5-3. Cloud9 at 5-3. But NRG at 3-5. So they're in a obviously pretty big hold now. They've got to win their final 2 series, and then they've got to hope that 5-5 is going to be good enough to get through to the playoffs, which it may not be. They play Crew, they play Cloud9. Winnable games, but games they will have to win, and win comfortably, it seems, NRG, if they actually want any chance. So yeah, what do you guys think about this decision now in hindsight? Are NRG completely fraudulent? Is it time to bring this man back, who did rather well, if you guys weren't aware, at the World Championship last year? But very much interested in your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, take care, and I'll see you next time.